If you are watching this right now, it is not by accident. You did not stumble here out of curiosity or coincidence. Something greater is unfolding. A silent force has been guiding you, arranging events, aligning moments, pulling you toward this exact message. And whether you realize it or not, your quantum leap, the great turning point of your life, is already happening. You may feel it in subtle ways, perhaps in the restlessness that visits you at night, in the quiet dissatisfaction with the life you once accepted, or in the longing for something more real, more alive, more aligned with who you truly are. This is not just imagination. It is the beginning of a collapse. Not of destruction, but of the old version of you that can no longer survive in the light of who you are becoming. A quantum leap is not a slow journey of small steps. It is a shift, sudden, radical, irreversible. Just as a particle in the quantum field disappears from one orbit and instantly appears in another, so too are you moving from one reality into a higher one. This leap is not measured by time or effort. It happens when your inner frequency reaches the tipping point, and you are there. That is why you are seeing this now. Think back to the moments that led you here, the patterns breaking, the people leaving, the opportunities that seemed to dissolve. You may have thought you were losing something, but in truth, you were being stripped of the weight that kept you anchored to an outdated timeline. Every ending, every disruption, every wave of uncertainty, all of it was the preparation. Now the signs are unmistakable. You are aware of a new level of perception awakening inside you. Ordinary things feel different. Time seems to move in unusual ways. Synchronicities appear with increasing frequency, as if the universe itself is whispering, "Pay attention." You are in the leap. And yes, the leap can feel overwhelming. Your old identity may resist. Your mind may question. Fear may try to drag you back into the safety of the familiar. But you cannot unknow what you now feel. You cannot unsee what is unfolding before you. Once the leap begins, there is no turning back. You may ask, why now? Why me? The answer is both simple and profound. Because your soul has chosen this moment. Because the greater intelligence that sustains all of existence is calling you forward. Because the frequency of your being has reached a resonance that no longer fits the old structures. You are no longer aligned with who you once were, and life is rearranging itself around that truth. This is not about luck. This is not about chance. This is alignment. And alignment is the true power behind transformation. The leap is not something you force. It is something you allow. It begins the moment you surrender to the call that has been echoing within you for so long. The call that says there is more to you, more to life, more to reality than you have been taught to believe. If you are feeling the turbulence, the stretching, the discomfort, it is not a sign that you are failing. It is the sign that you are expanding. Just as a seed must break through its shell to grow, just as light must pierce the darkness to shine, you must release the old skin to step into the greater self that is waiting to emerge. Right now, as you hear these words, your energy field is already shifting. Your heart is remembering truths you buried. Your mind is being recalibrated. Your spirit is saying yes. This is the threshold. This is the in-between space, where the old dissolves and the new is not yet visible, but already real. You may not see the full picture yet. You may not understand how it will unfold. But deep inside, you feel it. The pulse, the vibration, the undeniable knowing that something is different. This is your leap. And whether you embrace it with courage or hesitate in doubt, the leap is happening. So breathe. Feel the weight of this moment. Know that you were guided here for a reason. Because your story is not ending. It is beginning again on a higher octave with more truth, more light, more power. This is your signal. This is your confirmation. And from this moment on, nothing will ever be the same. What is a quantum leap? When you hear the words quantum leap, your mind may imagine science, equations, or particles too small to see. But in truth, the concept is not just for physics. It is for you. A quantum leap is a metaphor, but also more than a metaphor. It is the way the universe operates, both in the smallest particles and in the evolution of human consciousness. In the quantum world, particles do not move gradually from one state to another. They do not crawl step by step along a path. Instead, they disappear from one orbit and instantly appear in another. There is no in-between that the eye can measure. There is only the leap. And this is why your transformation does not follow the logic of slow progress or predictable steps. It happens in a moment, in a shift, in the silent instant where everything changes. For years, you may have worked on yourself, learned, grown, tried to change old habits. You may have thought the process was only about discipline, repetition, or effort. And yes, these have their place. But the leap is different. The leap is when all the hidden work, all the invisible shifts within you, suddenly converge into a new state of being. You wake up one day and realize you cannot go back. The frequency you live in has already shifted. This leap is not external first. It is not about suddenly receiving wealth, love, or success from outside. It is an inner leap. A reorganization of your energy, your beliefs, your vibration. And when the inner shifts, the outer cannot help but follow. Because reality is not created from the outside in. It is created from the inside out. You may have been told that change takes time, that you must climb a ladder slowly. But a quantum leap ignores time. It collapses the distance between where you were and where you are meant to be. That is why it feels miraculous. That is why it feels as if life has skipped steps. But the truth is, nothing was skipped. Everything was preparing you. The leap is the harvest of all the seeds you planted, even when you thought they were forgotten. A quantum leap is not comfortable. It challenges the mind that wants logic and order. Your rational mind will try to explain it, resist it, or reduce it to coincidence. But your heart knows. Your spirit recognizes the pattern. You sense that you are no longer the person you were yesterday, even if nothing around you has changed yet. You feel the vibration in your body, the quiet knowing in your soul. This is why many people confuse the leap with crisis, because it often begins with collapse. The collapse of identity, of routines, of relationships, of illusions. To the mind, it looks like things are falling apart. But to the higher intelligence guiding you, it is all falling into place. The collapse is not destruction. It is the doorway to the leap. Imagine a caterpillar. For a time, it crawls, living close to the ground. Then, without warning, it enters a cocoon. Inside, its old form dissolves completely. To the outside eye, it might look like death. But what emerges is transformation, wings, flight, a life unimaginable to the creature it once was. That is the quantum leap, and you are in it. You do not crawl forever. You do not live in endless preparation. There comes a moment where the shell must break, where the leap must occur. And when it does, the rules of your old world no longer apply. You do not have to explain it to anyone. You do not have to prove it. The leap speaks for itself. Some people resist it. They cling to the old orbit, terrified of what the new may hold. But even resistance cannot stop it once it begins. Because life itself is moving you forward. You are not meant to stay in the same orbit forever. Expansion is your nature. Growth is inevitable. And the leap is simply the most direct expression of that truth. So what does this mean for you now? It means that you are not broken. You are not lost. You are in the space between orbits. The moment the old no longer defines you and the new has not yet fully revealed itself. That space may feel like confusion, but it is sacred. It is the void where the quantum leap happens. You are learning to trust the unseen, to allow yourself to dissolve the outdated stories of who you thought you were, to let your energy rearrange itself into alignment with your highest self. And though it may feel sudden, remember this: the leap is not random. It is the culmination of everything you have lived, every choice you have made, every silent prayer you have spoken in the dark. The leap is happening because you are ready, even if your mind doubts it. And when you embrace it, you do not just change a part of your life. You step into a new dimension of yourself, a new way of seeing, living, and being. That is the essence of the quantum leap. Not slow, not predictable, not explainable in ordinary logic, but real, immediate, irreversible, and it is already unfolding within you. The signs that your leap has already begun. You may still wonder, how do I know if my quantum leap has already started? The truth is, you already feel it. The leap announces itself through signs, subtle at first, then undeniable. They show up in your emotions, in your thoughts, in your body, and the circumstances around you. These are not random events. They are signals that your inner frequency has shifted and life is rearranging itself to match. One of the first signs is a growing restlessness. What once satisfied you no longer does. The routines you used to tolerate now feel suffocating. The conversations that once entertained you now feel shallow. Deep inside, you sense there is more, and you cannot return to the comfort of ignorance. This restlessness is not a flaw. It is the stirring of your soul, preparing you for the new dimension of self that is calling. Another sign is the breakdown of what no longer serves you. Relationships may fall apart. Jobs may end. Old habits may suddenly feel unbearable. At first, this can look like loss. You may feel abandoned, betrayed, or stripped of stability. But look closer. What is leaving is what cannot exist in your higher frequency. The leap cannot carry old weights. Life is removing them so that you can rise. You may also notice that time feels different. Sometimes it accelerates, days, weeks, months, passing in what feels like moments. Other times it slows, almost stretching as if giving you space to process. This distortion of time is a natural sign of your consciousness expanding beyond the linear. You are no longer bound to the old rhythm. Your awareness is beginning to dance with the timeless. Synchronicities become more frequent, numbers repeating. Encounters that seem too perfect to be coincidence. Words you needed to hear appearing at the exact moment you needed them. These are not accidents. They are alignments. They are reality confirming that you are stepping into the quantum field, where thought and event move closer, where intention and manifestation meet more directly. Your body may speak louder too. You might feel unusual surges of energy, heat, or tingling. You may find yourself waking up at odd hours of the night, often between 2 and 4 a.m., the hours when the veil between dimensions is thinnest. You may even feel sudden waves of emotion rising from nowhere. Sadness, joy, anger, peace, all surfacing so that they can be released. The leap cleanses as it transforms. Your inner voice grows stronger. Intuition that once whispered now speaks with clarity. You know when something is right or wrong without needing proof. Decisions that used to paralyze you now feel easier because you can sense the energy of the path. This inner guidance is the compass of your leap. The more you trust it, the smoother your transition becomes. Another powerful sign, your old identity feels fragile. You may catch yourself asking, who am I, really? The labels you once wore, job titles, roles, masks no longer fit. They crumble, leaving you feeling exposed. This is not a crisis of identity, it is the unveiling of truth. You are remembering that you are not the story you told yourself. You are consciousness itself, choosing a new expression. Relationships reflect this too. Some people may distance themselves, unable to resonate with your new vibration. Others may be drawn closer, as if recognizing something in you they had been waiting for. Do not cling. Do not chase. The leap naturally rearranges your connections, aligning you with those who support your highest expansion. You may also feel called towards silence, solitude, or stillness. Where once you sought noise or distraction, now you crave space to breathe, to think, to listen. This is because the leap requires integration. Your inner world is recalibrating, and you instinctively know you need quiet to allow it. And perhaps the most profound sign, a sense that something greater is guiding you. Even in the midst of uncertainty, you feel a thread of trust. You notice that somehow you are being carried. You may not know the destination, but you feel the momentum. This trust is not naive. It is the recognition that the intelligence of life itself is orchestrating your path. If you recognize these signs, you are not imagining them. You are not going crazy. You are not broken. You are in the middle of the leap. The old world is dissolving. The new world is emerging. And you are the bridge between the two. Understand this. Not everyone notices these signs. Many experience them and dismiss them as stress, coincidence, or confusion. But you, by seeing them, by acknowledging them, are already stepping into awareness. Awareness is the threshold. Once you see, you cannot unsee. And that is the confirmation that your leap has already begun. So do not doubt yourself. Do not dismiss what you feel. Every sign is evidence. Every shift is proof. You are not waiting for your leap. You are living it. And the more you recognize the signs, the more gracefully you will walk through the transformation, the collapse of the old reality. Every leap begins with a collapse. Before the new can rise, the old must fall away. And while your mind may label this collapse as failure, loss, or chaos, in truth, it is the very proof that your quantum leap is unfolding. You cannot carry the weight of outdated realities into your new dimension. So life, in its wisdom, begins to dismantle what no longer serves you. This collapse often starts in the places you once thought were stable. The job you once clung to begins to feel meaningless. The relationship you held onto starts to crack. Habits that once numbed you no longer work. You try to go back to them, but they taste empty, hollow, false. That is because your vibration has already shifted, and the old structures cannot hold it anymore. You may feel like the ground beneath your feet is shaking. What once gave you certainty now feels uncertain. Plans unravel. Expectations dissolve. The identity you built piece by piece begins to loosen, as if it no longer belongs to you. And yes, This can be terrifying. The human mind seeks safety and predictability, but the soul thrives in truth. And the collapse is truth exposing what you no longer need. Think of a house built on sand. For a time it stands, but the storm reveals its weakness. You cannot repair the foundation by clinging to the crumbling walls. You must let it fall so that you can rebuild on solid ground. The collapse of your old reality is that storm. It is not punishment, it is cleansing. During this stage, emotions may rise with intensity. Fear, grief, anger, confusion. They surge like waves, leaving you breathless. But these emotions are not here to break you. They are here to free you. They are the stored energy of old timelines finally surfacing to be released. As you allow them to move through you, you are not drowning. You are being emptied so that you can be filled with new life. You may notice relationships shifting in ways you did not expect. Some people may leave abruptly. Others may no longer understand you. This is painful, yes, but also necessary. You are no longer resonating with the same frequency. Holding on to connections that belong to your old orbit will only slow the leap. Trust that those meant to walk with you in your new reality will appear, and those who cannot will fade. Your external world mirrors this collapse. Projects may stall. Money may fluctuate. Opportunities you counted on may vanish. On the surface, it looks like lack, but underneath, something deeper is at play. Life is clearing space. The old doors must close so that new ones, aligned with your leap, can open. If everything stayed as it was, you would never step into the unknown. The collapse forces you into the threshold where transformation would. And then there is the inner collapse, perhaps the most profound of all. The beliefs you once held as unshakable begin to crumble. Ideas about who you are, what you deserve, how life works, they no longer fit. You question everything. You may feel lost, unanchored, stripped of identity. But understand this, the collapse of false identity is not loss. It is liberation. You are not the mask you wore. You are the consciousness behind it, and the leap is revealing that truth. It is in this collapse that many turn back, clinging to the familiar even as it dissolves. They confuse the collapse with destruction and run to rebuild the same structures on the same sand. But you are different. You feel that even in the chaos, something deeper is calling you forward. You know that letting go is the only way to step into the leap fully. So when the old reality collapses, do not fight it. Do not curse it. Do not mistake it for the end. It is the beginning. Just as a forest fire clears the land for new growth, just as winter strips the earth so that spring may bloom, your collapse is making way for the life that is waiting for you. Yes, it will challenge you. Yes, it will test your trust. But in the silence that follows the collapse, you will feel it. The whisper of your higher self, the steady pulse of the quantum field, the certainty that you are being carried into something greater. The collapse is not against you, it is for you. It is the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. Remember, you are not losing your life. You are losing the illusion of who you thought you had to be. And what remains is the truth, radiant, limitless, alive. This is the gift of the collapse. And once you see it for what it is, you will no longer fear it. You will honor it, because you will know the old must die so the new can live. And that is the essence of your quantum leap. The role of breath and presence. In the midst of your leap, when everything feels uncertain and the ground of your old reality is dissolving, you may ask yourself, what do I hold on to? How do I navigate this transition without being consumed by fear or confusion? The answer is simpler and closer than you think. You hold on to your breath. Breath is the bridge between the visible and the invisible, between your body and your spirit, between the ordinary world and the quantum field. Every inhale and exhale is more than biology. It is a reminder that you are connected to something greater, that life itself flows through you with every breath you take. When your mind spirals in doubt, when emotions surge like storms, your breath brings you back. It anchors you in presence. Because presence is the only place where the leap actually happens. Not in yesterday, not in tomorrow, but here, in this breath, in this moment, in the now. Think of how often you hold your breath without realizing it. In fear, in stress, in resistance, your breathing becomes shallow, tight, restricted. This mirrors your inner state, contracted, closed, unable to expand. But the moment you consciously breathe, deeply and fully, something shifts. Your body softens. Your mind slows. Your energy opens. In that instant, you return to the field of possibility. Breath is not just air moving through your lungs. It is rhythm, flow, vibration. Across spiritual traditions, breath has always been seen as sacred. In many languages, the word for breath and the word for spirit are the same, because to breathe is to live, and to breathe consciously is to awaken. As you breathe with awareness, you begin to notice that the breath itself carries intelligence. Each inhale draws in energy, life force, possibility. Each exhale releases what no longer serves you, tension, fear, old frequencies. In this way, the breath becomes both cleansing and empowering. It empties you of the old while filling you with the new. This is why the breath is central to your leap. It teaches you to trust the rhythm of expansion and release. Just as you cannot cling to your inhale, you cannot cling to your old reality. Just as you cannot resist your exhale, you cannot resist the letting go that the leap demands. Breath shows you that life is not about control, but about flow. Presence is the companion of breath. To be present is to step out of the illusions of time, the regrets of the past, and the fears of the future. In presence, you realize that you are not lost. You are here. You are alive. You are aware. And in that awareness, the leap happens naturally. The leap is not a future event. It is a state of being. Every time you return to your breath, every time you return to presence, you align with the frequency of your higher self. And in that alignment, the quantum field responds. Possibilities rearrange. Realities shift. The new timeline you are stepping into crystallizes. When fear rises, breathe. When doubt clouds your mind, breathe. When the collapse of the old reality feels unbearable, breathe. With each breath, you remind yourself, I am carried. I am guided. I am not alone. The air you inhale is the same air breathed by countless generations before you, the same air that flows across oceans and mountains, the same air infused with the intelligence of creation itself. Notice how your breath feels right now. Without changing it, simply observe. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, expanding your chest. Feel the release as it leaves, carrying tension away. That is presence. That is the doorway to your leap. You do not have to force it. You simply have to return again and again to the simple act of breathing. Presence deepens when you bring awareness to the spaces between breaths. The stillness after the exhale. The quiet pause before the next inhale. In those spaces, you touch the void, the quantum field, the fertile nothing where all creation begins. This void is not absence. It is potential. It is the silence before the breakthrough. And your breath is the key that opens it. Through breath and presence, you train your body to rest and trust, even when your mind cannot see the outcome. You reprogram your nervous system to release survival fear and embody expansion. You become a vessel for the higher frequencies that your leap requires. And slowly, you realize that you are not just breathing. You are being breathed by life itself. This awareness changes everything. You stop clinging. You stop resisting. You begin to surrender, not in defeat, but in power. Because you realize that you do not have to control the leap. You only have to allow it, and breath teaches you how to allow. So as you walk through your quantum leap, let breath be your anchor and presence your compass. They will not remove the challenges, but they will give you the strength to meet them. They will remind you, moment by moment, that you are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment, and with each conscious breath, you step more fully into the reality that is waiting for you. The quantum void, the interval before manifestation. There is a stage in every quantum leap that many find difficult to. It is the in-between, the space after the collapse of the old reality, but before the visible arrival of the new one. It is here that most people grow restless, afraid, or doubtful. They call it emptiness. They call it silence. They mistake it for nothingness. But in truth, this stage is the most sacred of all. This is the quantum void. The void is the pause between the inhale and the exhale, the stillness between the ending and the beginning. It is not death, but gestation. It is the soil in which your new reality is rooting itself before it blooms. And though your senses may see nothing, the field is alive with activity. Beneath the surface, alignment is occurring. Possibilities are crystallizing. Energy is rearranging itself to meet your new frequency. The human mind resists this space. You crave certainty, results, visible proof. When you do not see immediate evidence, you feel tempted to run back to the old, to rebuild what has already collapsed, to fill the silence with noise. But if you do, you interrupt the process because the void is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the womb of your transformation. In the void, you are being rewired. Old neural pathways dissolve. New ones form. Beliefs that once shaped your limits are being dismantled. Identity that once defined you is being shed. And though it feels like disorientation, it is in fact liberation. The void strips away all illusions so that what remains is only truth. Consider the seed buried in darkness. To the eye, it looks lifeless. But within, it is breaking open, releasing the sprout that will one day reach toward the sun. The darkness is not its end. It is its beginning. The void you face now is the same. It feels dark because your old eyes cannot yet see what is forming. But in spirit, you are already sprouting. In this space, presence is everything. When you resist the void, it feels unbearable. When you surrender to it, it becomes peace. The stillness you are invited into is not empty. It is full of potential. The silence is not absence. It is the voice of the universe speaking in ways your ears cannot yet hear. The void also reveals your patterns of control. In its silence, you notice how quickly your mind wants to act, fix, or force. You notice the discomfort of simply being with yourself. And in noticing, you learn. You learn that you do not have to chase the new timeline. You do not have to manipulate the leap. You only have to allow. The void teaches surrender, and surrender is the doorway to manifestation. It is in this sacred interval that your frequency stabilizes. Without the old pulling you back, and without the new fully formed, you are free to align deeply with your highest self. It is a recalibration of your soul. And if you can sit in this space, breathing, present, trusting, you will emerge from it unshakable. Many spiritual traditions honor the void. Mystics have entered caves, deserts, silence, solitude, not as punishment, but as initiation. They knew that in emptiness, they would meet fullness. That in silence, they would hear truth. You are walking through the same initiation now. The universe has brought you into the void so that you may be reborn. Do not rush it. Do not despise it. Instead, rest in it. Allow yourself to be remade in ways you cannot yet understand. When the time is right, the leap will reveal its fruits. Your new reality will emerge, and you will step into it with clarity and strength. But that future is born here, in the stillness, in the nothing that is actually everything. So if you feel like nothing is happening, remember, the void is alive. If you feel like you are waiting, remember, you are being prepared. If you feel like you are empty, remember, you are being filled with the frequency of your higher destiny. The void is not the end of your leap. It is the sacred center of it. And those who can embrace it, those who can surrender to its silence, will find that what emerges afterward is not only a new life, but a new self. A self that is aligned, awakened, unafraid, and free. How to align with the new field. The quantum leap is not only an event, it is a state you must learn to sustain. Once you begin to shift, the field around you responds instantly. But the question remains, how do you align with this new field? How do you ensure that the transformation unfolding within you takes root and becomes the foundation of your life? The answer lies in your choices, in your inner orientation, in the way you show up to yourself moment by moment. First, understand that alignment is not about perfection. It is not about forcing yourself into an image of what you think awakened life should look like. Alignment is about resonance. It is about attuning your energy, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions with the frequency of your higher self. This does not happen through pressure. It happens through presence and awareness. One of the most powerful ways to align is to choose your thoughts with intention. Your mind is a transmitter. Every thought you dwell on emits a frequency. Old patterns of fear, doubt, or lack send out signals that pull you back toward the past. But when you shift into thoughts of trust, possibility, gratitude, and courage, you send out signals that match your leap. The field responds not to what you wish for occasionally, but to what you consistently hold within. Notice your thoughts. Do not judge them, but observe them. When you catch yourself in an old loop of negativity, pause, breathe, release it, and consciously choose a thought that reflects your new reality. At first, this may feel artificial, but over time it becomes natural. You are rewiring your brain, teaching it to align with the frequency of expansion rather than contraction. Emotions play an equally vital role. Feelings are energy in motion, and they are the language of the field. When you embody emotions that reflect your desired reality, peace, joy, love, confidence, you harmonize with the new field. This does not mean suppressing or denying difficult emotions. It means allowing them to pass without identifying with them. You are not your fear. You are not your anger. You are the awareness that holds them and lets them move through. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions for alignment. Not gratitude as a forced exercise, but as a genuine recognition of the gifts present in every moment. Gratitude anchors you in abundance, reminding the field that you already live in connection, not separation. The more you embody gratitude, the more your reality mirrors it back to you. Another way to align is through your environment. Everything around you carries frequency. The people you interact with, the media you consume, the spaces you inhabit. Ask yourself, does this environment elevate me or does it drain me? Alignment sometimes requires making bold choices, releasing environments that hold you in the old vibration and creating new ones that nurture your leap. This is not about isolation, but about discernment. You cannot align with your new self while surrounding yourself with constant reminders of the old. Action is also part of alignment. The quantum field does not respond only to thought and emotion, but also to embodied choices. When you take actions that reflect the person you are becoming, you reinforce the leap. Even small actions, waking up earlier to meditate, speaking your truth in a conversation, saying yes to opportunities that scare you but excite you, these are signals to the few. They declare, I am aligned, I am ready. But alignment is not only about doing, it is also about being. There will be times when the most aligned choice is to rest, to be silent, to allow integration. The leap is not sustained by endless effort, but by harmony. Learn to listen to your body, to your intuition, to the quiet voice that knows when to act and when to be still. This is the rhythm of alignment. Above all, alignment requires trust. Trust that the leap is real, even when the evidence is not yet visible. Trust that the field is responding, even when you cannot see how. Trust that you are guided, supported, carried. Trust transforms fear into fuel. Trust turns waiting into preparation. Trust allows you to walk through uncertainty with grace. Every day, you are given opportunities to align. In the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you breathe. These small choices build momentum. And as you continue, you notice that the leap feels less like an event and more like a way of life. You stop asking, when will it happen? And start realizing it is happening through me now. This is how you align with the new field, by living in resonance with it before it fully appears, by becoming the person who already embodies the reality you are stepping into, by trusting the unseen, choosing the higher thought, feeling the higher emotion, creating the higher action. And in doing so, you collapse the distance between where you are and where you are going. Your leap is not fragile. It does not depend on perfection. It depends on alignment. And alignment is built moment by moment, breath by breath, choice by choice. Every time you align, you declare to the universe, I am ready. I am available. I am already living my quantum leap, embracing persistence and courage. A quantum leap is not a path of comfort. It does not unfold without resistance. Every transformation worth experiencing requires persistence, because the old structures do not dissolve quietly. They test you. They ask if you are serious. They push against your progress to see if you will collapse back into the familiar or step forward with courage into the unknown. You may already feel these tests, the doubts whispering in your mind, the fears rising when nothing seems certain, the temptation to return to old habits even when they no longer satisfy you. These are not signs that you are failing. They are signs that you are advancing. Resistance always appears at the edge of breakthrough. Persistence does not mean forcing yourself through pain. It means continuing to move forward, even when you do not see the full picture. It means holding the vision of your leap, even when circumstances look the opposite. It means breathing through discomfort, trusting that every challenge is not a wall, but a doorway. Courage is the companion of persistence. Without courage, you will shrink back into safety. Without persistence, your courage will fade after the first setback. Together, they form the strength that carries you through the turbulence of your leap. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to move despite fear. Fear says, what if I fail? What if I lose everything? What if I cannot handle what comes next? Courage answers, even if I stumble, even if I lose, I will rise again. Because what waits on the other side is worth more than the comfort I leave behind. You will face moments when everything in you wants to quit, when the leap feels too heavy, too uncertain, too overwhelming. In those moments, persistence whispers, keep going. Not because it is easy, but because your higher self has already chosen this path. The fact that you are here in the leap is proof that you are strong enough to complete it. Think of the mountain climber who feels exhaustion halfway up the slope. The temptation is to turn back, to return to safety at the base. But the summit is not reached by retreating. It is reached by one more step, and then another, and then another. That is persistence. That is courage. And that is what will carry you through. You may feel alone at times, as if no one understands what you are experiencing. But solitude is part of the initiation. The leap requires that you walk into places others may not yet dare to go. Yet in that solitude, you discover your strength. You realize that courage does not come from outside validation. It comes from within, from the fire of your spirit. Persistence also means refusing to be defined by temporary appearances. The collapse of your old reality may look like failure. Obstacles may look like endings, but you must see deeper. Every obstacle is a test of alignment. Every setback is an invitation to trust more deeply. When you persist, you prove to yourself that the leap is real, not because it is easy, but because you are uncheckable. And here is the truth. Courage grows as you use it. Each time you face fear and move forward, you expand your capacity. Each time you persist in the face of doubt, you strengthen your spirit. You are not only leaping into a new reality, you are becoming the person who can hold it. The leap requires this version of you, the one who does not give up, the one who chooses courage again and again. Do not despise the resistance. It is not your enemy. It is the forge that shapes you. It is the pressure that turns coal into diamond. Without resistance, you would not discover your own strength. Without challenge, you would not know the depth of your courage. Every test is proof that your leap is happening. Every challenge is evidence that you are stepping into a new dimension of self. So when fear rises, breathe. When doubt clouds your mind, stand tall. When obstacles appear, see them for what they are. Invitations to persist, to expand, to trust. You are not being punished. You are being refined. And persistence is the fire that will carry you through the refining. In the end, your leap will not be remembered for how easy it was. It will be remembered for how fiercely you chose to rise when everything told you to fall. For how courageously you said yes to your higher self, even when your lower self screamed no. For how persistently you held your vision, even when the world around you seemed blind to it. This is the essence of persistence and courage. Not glamorous, not effortless, but powerful. It is the fuel of your leap. And as you embody it, you discover that the leap is not just about changing your life. It is about transforming you into someone who no longer waits for strength, but becomes strength itself. And now, as you stand here, at the edge of everything you have known, you realize something powerful. The leap is not ahead of you anymore. It is within you. It is not waiting to begin. It has already begun. Every sign you have seen, every collapse you have endured, every breath you have taken with awareness has carried you deeper into the new field. You may have doubted, feared, hesitated. But here you are, still standing, still listening, still moving forward. That is the proof of your strength. That is the evidence that you are no longer who you once were. The old self has dissolved. The old reality has collapsed. And what remains is the truest, brightest essence of you, ready to step fully into the life you were always meant to live. Look back for a moment, not with regret, but with recognition. See how far you have come. The person who once settled for less could not have made it here. The person who once believed in limits could not have endured this transformation. You are no longer that person. You are more. You are expanded. You are awakened. You are aligned with the frequency of your highest self. The leap has not been easy. It was never meant to be. But every challenge refined you. Every test revealed your courage. Every moment of emptiness filled you with strength you did not know you had. The void was not silence. It was preparation. The collapse was not destruction. It was liberation. The signs were not coincidences. They were confirmations. Everything has led you here. And now the question is simple. Will you step fully into it? Will you trust the new field that is already carrying you? Will you allow yourself to embody the reality that has been calling you since the beginning? The choice is not about whether the leap will happen. It already has. The choice is whether you will own it, claim it, and live it with your whole being. To step fully into your leap means to live as if the new reality is already yours, to think from it, to feel from it, to act from it. It means to stop waiting for permission, proof, or perfect conditions. It means to stand in the truth of who you are, even when the world has not caught up yet. It means to live as your higher self now. And yes, there will still be moments of doubt, fear, resistance. But now you know what they are. They are not signs of failure. They are reminders to breathe, to persist, to trust. They are invitations to align again, to choose again, to step into courage again. And every time you do, you strengthen the leap. You anchor it deeper into your being. You are not the same person who began this journey. You are the one who stood in the fire of collapse and did not run. You are the one who breathed through the void and did not give up. You are the one who faced resistance with persistence and fear with courage. You are the one who said yes when everything in you wanted to say no. That is who you are now. The leap is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming fully yourself. The self beyond conditioning, beyond illusion, beyond limitation. The self that remembers its connection to the quantum field, its power to create, its truth as infinite consciousness expressed in human form. That is who you are. And that is who you are stepping into now, so take a breath. Feel the weight of this moment. Feel the truth of these words resonating in your chest. This is not theory. This is not abstraction. This is your life. This is your leap. And you are already living it. From this point on, everything changes. Not because the world outside suddenly transforms, but because you do. And as you shift, the world reflects it. The quantum field responds. The timelines rearrange. The reality you align with becomes the reality you inhabit. That is the power of your leap. You were chosen for this. Not chosen by chance, but by your own soul, your own higher self, your own decision to awaken. You answered the call. You endured the collapse. You embraced the void. You aligned with the new field. You persisted with courage. And now you arrive, not at the end, but at the true beginning of your new life. Step fully into it. Do not wait. Do not shrink. Do not apologize for the magnitude of your transformation. Own it, live it, radiate it. The leap is not only for you. It is for everyone who will feel your presence, your energy, your example. By living your leap, you light the path for others to live theirs. And so, the moment has come. Your leap is here. Your leap is now. Take it, embrace it, live it. Because this is who you truly are. And nothing will ever be the same again. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and activate the bell so you won't miss the next insight. Remember, every choice you make collapses a quantum possibility. Choose the reality where your true self is free.